What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are already part of the family, for those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Kiara Selena, and this is my channel, Nursing with Ki, where I mainly make nursing related videos, but we also do a bit of beauty and hair. So if you want to be part of the family, feel free to join us by hitting that subscribe button and turning on your notification bell so you won't miss another video from me again. So in this video, I just wanted to share a little story time with you guys about how I failed a class in nursing school. I know that some of you guys on here have failed a class. You guys are absolutely just devastated and you guys feel like it's the end of the world. And maybe some of you guys are just curious to hear my story. So I'm going to share the story with you. Let me just explain how the system worked in my school. So in order for you to pass a class, you had to have a passing grade of at least 80%. The lowest passing grade we ever had was 75%, and that was in cognitive deficit. So if you got a 75, then you passed. In all the other classes that we did, all the other systems, we were supposed to have at least 80, and in some rare cases, in a couple classes, we actually needed an 85 in order to pass. So you always had to have a B or B plus in order to pass your class, always. So your girl was in school, you know, and she was just killing them systems. Like, she was killing them. I think I had to do one rewrite once, but she was just going through, killing it in nursing school, passing. And also the way it works in our school is that we have 1 year of theory and we have 1 year of clinicals. So you have 1 year of theory, which is 9 to 3:30, Monday to Friday, week after week after week for 1 year. And then after that 1 year of theory is done, then you have 1 year of clinicals. Our clinicals were usually 3 days a week on average, but in rare cases sometimes we had two days of clinicals a week, and then in some cases we had 4. And it really depends on how many hours each clinical is, because not every clinical is the same length of time. Like for us, I think pediatrics was like a week. Pediatrics was a week, but then we had like geriatrics, which was 6 weeks. So our clinicals were never the same amount of time. Anyway, I made a video about how to pass nursing school, and I was talking about the importance of attendance. People always like think that they're just gonna skip class and they're just not gonna come and they're just gonna pass. And some people are able to do that. They're able to study on their own and they're able to, girl, I've met some people who honestly, I don't even know how they made it through. I don't even know how they even got to the end, because honestly, they sucked. They really did. But they made it through. So some people are just lucky like that. Anyway, so in our program, we were always entitled to a rewrite, but in order to be entitled to to be able to do your rewrite, you had to be under your, so basically they would give you, you were only allowed to miss 20% of the total amount of hours of a class. So for example, if we were learning, I don't know, let's say the digestive system, and the digestive system class was like 90 hours or 120 hours, then we were only able to miss like 3 classes or 4 classes. If we missed over the 20% that we're allowed to miss, you are not entitled to your rewrite. So summer vacation came and I wanted to go see my family in England. I hadn't seen them for a really, really long time, and I just really wanted to go so bad. And I could either come back the day before I was starting back school, or the day I was starting back school, or no, 2 days after starting back, the starting date of school. So let's say the starting date was like on the 14th. It's either I come back on the 13th or I came back on the 16th. Now, if I wanted to come back on the 13th, the ticket was an extra $350. And if I came back 2 days after, I didn't have to pay that $350. So it was way cheaper for me to come back on the 16th. And I had missed my 20% before, and I knew that I knew my stuff. You know, I was just banging out my stuff. I was studying all the time. I was just killing it in nursing school. So I was just like, girl, look, this is my last class. Like, before I have to go on clinicals, I've been killing it. I know my stuff, and I'm just gonna save this $350 and I'm gonna come back 2 days later. So I went on the vacation, came back 2 days later, but the class was the digestive system class was a shorter class. So I think missing those 2 days already amounted up to my 20%. So my rewrite was already out the door. So I came back, you know, went to class, finished up the class or whatever. I was there every day after I came back, didn't miss, wasn't late, you know, whatever. I was doing everything I had to do. But the messed up thing about our exams was this. If basically our exams are divided in sections, so you'd have one section that's worth 10%, but in order to get that 10%, you have to get everything in that section right. And then you would always have a section that was worth 25%. Always. You would always have a section that is worth 25%. And in order to get that 25%, you had to get everything right in that section. I mean, every question you had to get right. Or no, I think you were only allowed one mistake or something like that. Something like that. Either one mistake or no mistakes at all. So that section, that one section that was worth 25 marks was one of those match the word to the definition question or something similar to that. Girl or boy, okay, let me tell you. I wrote down an answer and the answer was good. But the thing is, what they would do is they would always, like, let's say they would have 6 definitions or like 5 words, but then they would have 6 different definitions. And 2 of those definitions are very, very similar, but there might be like one little tricky word that might like just mess you up if you don't pay attention. And that is what happened to your girl. So let's say, yeah, like I said, there's 6 definitions or whatever, 5 words, and you have to match the words to the definition. And the two last definitions that were remaining were extremely similar. And I marked down the wrong one and I lost 25 marks, even though I got everything else right. So the passing rate for that exam was 80%. I got 75% because everything else was right, but I lost the 25% because I got that one question wrong. And guess what? I was not entitled to my rewrite. So I had to redo that class. Child. I didn't have a problem redoing the class. What hurt me was that usually at my school, they will have a group starting at every season. So they'll have one winter, they will have one spring, one fall, and summer. And summer. And I started in the winter. There was supposed to be a March group, but there was no March group. There was literally no spring group. So the following group was fall. Do you know how long I had to wait to redo my class? 4 months. 4 months. I had to wait 4 months before I was able to redo my class and continue on clinical. It wasn't like I had to wait 2 weeks or I had to wait 3 weeks or even I had to wait a month. If I had to wait a month, I wouldn't have had a problem. Okay, I'm going to graduate a month later. That's fine. But I had to wait 4 months at home, y'all. I was devastated. I cried and cried and cried and cried. I went to the director. I went to the head of nursing. I told her, look, your girl's been killing it from day one. Like, y'all know I know my stuff. Like, y'all know I know my stuff. And I never, like, even though the passing rate was 80 or 85, the teachers would always let me know what my actual grade was. And I was high up in the 90s. High up, because the thing is, at our school, they can only tell you whether you passed or failed. They never actually gave us our grade. But our teachers would always, you know, tell us, like, okay, this person's top in the class or this person. And I was on my stuff. But they couldn't do anything for me. The head of nurses was a huge bully. A huge bully. I don't respect that lady at all. Kind of hope she sees this. She's mean as hell. But, yo, she did not want to help a kid out at all. And so I was devastated. I was crying and whatever. And I know that some people on here are going through this. They failed a class. They have to redo it. You know, you might have worked so hard, studied so hard, did everything that you possibly could, and you still ended up failing, and now you're just devastated. And you might be in a situation like me where, you know, you're delayed for a really, really long time. But guys, there is nothing like divine timing. We always think we know what's best for us. We always think we know, like, you know, that because we want something to happen right now, that this is when it should happen. God is in control. Everything will happen when it is supposed to happen. And now that I look back, I'm honestly happy that happened because I wasn't ready. Like, I honestly was not ready to be out here, like, at that time. I just wasn't. But now, despite the delay, despite the fact that I finished later, I'm so happy that things panned out the way they did. The timing is perfect. And now I'm happy. Now I'm comfortable. Now I'm like, honestly, I'm just grateful to God. So I know that it sucks. I know that some of you guys are just really feeling down. And I know some of you guys probably don't want to hear this. But when you finally do graduate, come back on here and leave me a little thank you down here, because you guys are going to realize that Nursing with Key was right. She was right. So if any of you guys have ever failed a nursing class and you guys want to leave some words of encouragement for people going through a tough time right now in nursing school, leave your comments down below, leave your stories down below, leave some words of encouragement so that, you know, all of our little future nurses are out here aren't just, you know, sad and slumped at home. And yeah, that is my little story. I hope you like it. Well, it's not really a happy story, so there's nothing to like, but I hope you like my words of encouragement. If you like them, click on that like button. Don't forget to turn your notification bell on and subscribe, and I really hope to see you in my next one. Bye.